So what type of things do you do to stay positive?
One thing I do is music is very therapeutic for me. Sometimes I choose playlists over people. Um
Hold on. He said
yeah,
I choose
I
playlists
choose a playlist
over
over people any
people.
day sometime, man.
That's a
And
bar. Welcome to the Personal Development Blueprint. The podcast is all about leveling up and helping you become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Jay Cope. Join me as we talk about different tools and strategies to help you navigate through everyday life, creating a blueprint for your personal growth. Let's get into it. All right, we got red buttons and we just did a whole episode and did not hit the well, I'm gonna say I didn't hit record. So yeah, I thought we were good. That episode was fire. It was we did a whole how long was that session, bro?
it was about 2 hours. And like they always say, you just had to be there.
You
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 just had to
definitely
be there. It was a dope one. I wish I had my phone recording on the side. It could have had exclusive content or something like that. But that was dope. But we gonna run it back though.
we gonna run it back, man. We gonna run it back. Man, that's unfortunate. That's like when I looked up and I went through the menu, so I wanted to look and check I wanted to check the recordings, and the look on my face was just like, and I think Boogie could feel where I was
Yeah,
coming from.
it could have been two things, y'all. It could have been either, yo, we got a hit. That's gonna be fire if we go into the
That was a
stratosphere.
hit. It was
Or
one of those
he was like, yo, we could have went. I
mustard.
like, hey, we did it. That's it. It's a wrap. Or I got some bad news, bro. We got to do it again. I was like, okay, we're doing it again. Run it back. But we got this though. We got this though.
You know what? We're gonna turn this into a positive thing. And without further ado, we're gonna get the episode started. Today we have a very special guest. He is carving out his own lane. He's a sneaker enthusiast,
Yes, sir.
a content creator, and he's just turning his passion into purpose. BoogieGainz, y'all.
What up, though? As I always say, your boy BoogieGainz, the flyest sensei. My YouTube channel, Boogie's Dojo, Sneaker Enthusiast, as you can see, Union Force. Let's get it. Thanks for having me here, Jay, on the podcast. It's an honor to be here. My first ever podcast. And though to be on the first episode of season 2. So let's get it.
And first off, bro, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to visit the show and welcome, man. And as he said, this is a very special episode. We kicking off season 2, which was, if y'all a fan of the show or if you follow the show, the first season was audio only, and this is the first episode of season 2, and we're kicking it off with video. We turn it up a notch this season, and my boy Boogie, he came to bless us with his presence. So we're gonna get right into it, man. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. It's an honor. I appreciate it being here, man.
Most definitely. And as y'all can see, my man came with the he came with the drip. He came with the drip today. So that's pretty much what the theme. We're gonna talk about his journey and some of the things that he had to go through and endure and different things like that. And he's as y'all can see, he's a sneakerhead. He so I'm gonna start things right off with that. I'm gonna jump right into it with that. Like how did your love for sneakers start?
Okay. So I'm gonna start off like I always say. This is my origin story. Every person like a hero had a origin story. So all
He's a
started for me.
superhero.
Yep. we all hear superheroes in some way. Main character energy. I would just say that for me it started off in 4th grade. What happened was right after Christmas break, all these kids came back with the Jordan Taxi 12s. And if y'all know the Jordan Taxi 12 is the one Martin had the Christmas episode when he gave his unfortunate child a pair of Jordan 12s. Every child had those in when they came in my class. I like, yo, what are those? Even other kids had them, other class. I'm like, I wasn't hip to that, but I was just in love with how the design was, the colorway. I like, those are sweet. Those are cool. I want a pair of those. Now, my mom and dad was not going to like buy those at all. They was like, nah, we know you tear up shoes. We're not paying for that. We good. They was just not a big fan of that. And I was just like, all right, I just knew that my allowance was gonna cover. I was just a fan at heart at the time. So that's for me. I became a big fan of like shoes. And I had a childhood friend, he would get Jordans and get Penny Hardaways, and he'll put me on. He's like, "Yo, this the Jordan flu game, and this the pennies. This how it's supposed to. This how it is." And we swap the shoelaces out, or we lace them like this, and it just became a love at sneakerhead at that point. I mean, at a young age, because it was just like such a cool thing. So
And I can tell that you were passionate about it. Just the way that you talking about it. Like at fourth grade, I wasn't think about none of that stuff. Like my mom Duke's got me like the LA gears with the light up joints, and I'm running through the hall, feet lighting up. And mom, I think you did me bold business. Like, now thinking back on it, I don't know, but they was fly back in the day, to me at least. And but you just mentioning like so many different details. And when somebody start going like that in depth about something, you can tell that they have a love or passion for it. And I can relate because I'm similar in a way of like I would say video creation. You know, I tell people, I've mentioned this a couple times having conversations with people, like you have an eye for that stuff because you kind of seek out or you'll notice things that the next person wouldn't notice. And like even just noticing you like Martin episode, the Christmas episode when he had this pair of Jordans, like most of us would probably overlook that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So you have an eye for it. And again, I can relate because when I watch movies or a TV show, like I watch it differently. When I'm watching, I'm paying attention to like the slow zooms and the pans and the different angles, like the over the shoulder angles, the high up angles, and the way that the props are placed in the thing called rule of thirds is it sounds like weird talk to everybody else, but this is stuff that I I look at it different. I got an eye for it, and that leads into like my passion for video. So I can definitely relate there as far as like having a passion for something. But yeah, you started at a real young age, man. Fourth grade,
yeah.
man.
I mean, it was just crazy. I think at that time, I mean, Jordan was like, that's during like the Last Dance era, the Jordan 12s. So between that, hip hop music, TV media from Martin, Different World, the Wayne's Brothers, Fresh Prince of Bel Air,
My
and even different.
childhood.
I think they said Jerry Seinfeld was a big sneakerhead. So
Really?
yeah,
I never knew
yeah,
that.
yeah. You go episodes. His kid gang was
Did he
crazy.
have Jordans on like during the
Yeah,
shows?
yeah.
You gonna make me go back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
watch one of the
yeah.
episodes.
I feel like that's what's missing in something even in NBA. Like they wear a lot of Kobe's and different shoes, but I rarely see them wear Jordans like that.
Mm.
And I know Jordan has with different team or different athletes he choose, but I feel like let them rock a Jordan flu game or let them rock something to get people
Now
to like
why do you think that is that you don't really see people wearing Jordans like
um
that?
like I said, but I think that they have to be a certain player on a Jordan brand team. Like
Oh.
Jordan selects different people. Like I think when Rip had to get picked, he had to like, okay, you got that Jordan mentality to be able to rock my shoes. That he was that hardcore and whoever put the shoes on their feet like that.
Mm.
So I think that whoever I think Zion Williamson is one. Who else with Jordan brand? Uh,
So they have to be with the brand in order to wear the shoe
yeah,
like on.
yeah.
Oh, I
Like
didn't.
even different colleges, like they have to be if they brand it with another company, they can't wear Jordans or they can't wear a
Oh
different
wow.
brand, so they have to wear it. And I just feel like it's a lot of GRs or colorways that come out. I feel like why they not wearing those Jordans? I mean, because I feel like it's a basketball shoe, but now I feel like it's getting more to the artists, the fashion people, some of the athletes like Nigel Sylvester. He's a professional biker, like like bicycle. So he does like tricks and like that. So he has a collaboration with Jordan Brand. He come out with a Brick 4 that's coming out. It's a good storytelling to it. It's like the
Mm.
story is everything is brick by brick, piece by piece with the
Oh,
Jordan
that's dope.
4.
That's dope.
So it got the colorway of a brick and stuff like that. And I think he's based out of New York. So New York was built
You
on
got a
brick.
review on that one?
Not yet. They come out
Or
this month.
okay, so I
So
know you got something
yeah,
coming
if I
with
can get
that.
my hands on them, it's super limited. So if I get my hands on it, I can break down that story, which is pretty dope. So I feel like a lot of Jordans got histories too, a lot of storytelling of how they came to be and like the flu game 12, Jordan had an actual not actually flu, but he was food poisoning from a pizza he had before the game. But they was like he played with the flu.
I
Yeah.
always wonder why they call those flu
Yep.
games.
Because he was sick
Hmm.
during that game. He put up, I want to say, 30, 35 points he put up in that
Hmm,
game
that's
was
crazy.
sick, yeah.
Mm.
So, like a lot of shoes just have a lot of storytelling, a lot of history to it. And that's the beauty of sneakers. Like everything has a story. Even with us, like my story of the Jordan 12. That's mine. But somebody else might have, oh, I started because I like this silhouette of this one. And it mean a lot to me. Some people with different Nikes. Like I noticed me and my friends would go see Terminator 1. And the shoe that the what was his name that came back? It wasn't John, but the guy that came back, he actually wore a pair of Terminators. And I never understood why they called them Terminators. Now I know why, because that was the Nike shoe he wore. It wasn't called a Terminator, but they based that shoe off the Terminator movie. So they named the Terminators.
Mm.
I was like, that's why that shoe called a Terminator, because he wore those. Okay, I get it. I get it.
So he wore some Nikes in the Terminator movie?
Yeah, it was like the guy that came back to save Sarah Connor. He put on when he, they come back naked, so he wore these Nike shoes. But that shoe was called the Terminator.
See, it's so many stories to these shoes. That's how, again, like that's how I could tell you got the passion for it. Like the average person wouldn't be like looking that deep into it, but it's like it's really an art to it. It's really an art to it. No, that's dope. I'm learning some fun facts
Yeah,
here.
like everybody has like such deep history with, and it's crazy. It goes from one athlete to somebody else why they want to rock these shoes. Like now, Travis Scott, big hip hop artist, he's like the baby Jordan when it comes to his shoes. Like he has his collaboration with the Jordan 1 lows, the Jordan 1 highs. They make so much money, but every time he put his name on those shoes, they sell out like fast because the fandom is so crazy. His fan base that they're ready to get his shoes. So like different. I think now that the brands are reaching out to different artists, um, like Nina Chanel, she's a black artist, black painter. She had the Air Jordan 3s last year. Dope shoe. It was a women's exclusive. And she had her spin on it. I think she came out with a two before, but this three really did like a lot. I think it was up there as far as like one of the top shoe releases of 2024. So shout out to Nina Chanel. So,
Shout out to Nina. Yeah. All right. So you talking about so we know you got a passion for sneakers. That's an understatement. That's
mhm.
an understatement. You done broke down about handful of stories already that I didn't even myself I didn't know about. I don't know about anybody else, but I know those are first time stories for me. But I do think it's pretty cool just kind of understanding a little bit more like just the history of a shoe. You know what I'm saying? The average person probably just look at it like, oh, that's cool, nice colorway, or you know what I'm saying. But when it has a actual story, I don't know, it just feels a little cooler when you know the backstory of it
Yeah.
or where it came from. So with that being said, you have a with your passion for sneakers, I know you've transitioned over into content creation in recent years. Like what made you hit the record button?
What made me hit the record button was you always get this thought like, I can do that. Um, and it started with I was in line for I want to say it was I know what it was. The Air Jordan 2 Shop 218. So Detroit owner Rose Spit had a collaboration with Jordan Brand, the Detroit Low Twos. And has a good story to it. Like it was like had the Flint water at the bottom, the red and
Mm.
blue, like Detroit Pistons. So I was just in line talking to the people and just giving my takes. And they're like, yeah, that's a good take. That's a yeah, that's that sound about right. And I was just noticing, like, man, I watch all these YouTube channels. Why can't I just do that? It looks so dope to do. So I decided when I got this one shoe, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I already missed out a bunch of dope releases that could have been some dope content. Let me try this one. It was a Nike Air Penny to the social status collection. So I did that one. And the views went to like 300. I had my friends, oh, that's a good review. I didn't know you was doing that. And then my boy came to him and was like, yo, we gotta do this bigger than you just doing the car. And I started off in the car and I started off on my phone. Because I didn't have a big camera, nothing like that. But a lot of your content creators, they do a lot of stuff off their phone. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this off my phone and see how it works. And it actually working. We still to this day shoot things off our phone.
Mm.
Like, and we just use it in different, I mean, the specs in your phone, they got 4K, and it's really just in lighting, and you learn so much once you get to one field, you become like a student in the filming and the lighting and all of that stuff. And then that becomes fun because it's art at the end of the day. So once I got into that, press that record button, it just became like a whole different realm. But once again, it goes back to art, which I'm a fan of art. I love music. I love fashion, all that stuff, and I just love. I'm a big movie buff, so I like that type of stuff.
And you said you mentioned something important. You you didn't wait till you had all the bells and whistles. You started and you made it happen with what you had. And that's very important. I know, especially for me, that was one thing that even still to this day, I battle with it a little bit. Because I always tell myself I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get this, and I have to silence that voice and say, bro, you got just start, just do it. You can always upgrade later. You know what I'm saying? So that's huge. That's a great piece of advice, y'all. If you thinking about starting something, like you don't have to have all the bells and whistles. And honestly, that makes for a better origin story. As my boy Boogie would
Yeah,
say, superhero. Like people like to see where you started from. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 years from now, if you look back at your content, it's gonna look 100% different from when you started. So I think the most important thing is just getting started with what you have, and as long as you have the drive for it, you know what I'm saying. The rest you can work out the rest, man. The rest is the materialistic stuff, and again, it does look good, but you think about your Gary V's and your Alex Hormozzi's, like these content creators. If you go back to day one, it looks nothing like what it looks like now. You know,
yeah,
we kind of get so excited to be like, man, I wanted to get look like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Keep that vision alive. You still want to have the vision, because as long as you have the vision, you're working towards it. But don't let that stop you from just getting it started now. So that's great advice right there.
yeah. And I was just thinking about, somebody had say this is my boy's clothing line out in Detroit. He has a clothing line called Trap. So take risk and prosper.
Ooh,
So
I like
that
that.
yeah, so his clothing store is in Harper Woods called Intrigue Clothing Store. Got a lot of his stuff in there, other brands, local brands and independent companies. So check them out there, y'all, if y'all get a chance to. Trap, take risk and prosper. And that's one thing. You gotta take those risks and and prosper in it, just believe in it.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing for me is like you have to do something believe in and something you feel you have a gift to, you have a value. So if you feel like you got a value in that marketplace, go ahead and share it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We share our stories. We share what we have with the world because it's not just for us.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's for somebody else to get inspired, somebody else to be like, I really like your point. I really like that point of view. Well, I like how he do reviews. I like how he do a setup. And things will happen if you're not gonna have the biggest setup in the world, but take your money back and invest into whatever you need
yeah.
and just learn what does it take to get there. Like, okay, if I could just get one light. I bought one ring light. I think I got it from Best Buy, and that's what I started off with. And my boy became a some more lights. I invested some more stuff, and you gonna learn as this journey go, and that's the fun part.
Yeah.
You constantly grow, and as you constantly move, it's going to production. It's going to get better. I promise you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just become a
Lighting is
student.
key, man. Lighting is key. If you got good lights, man, that'll transform your videos just that alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
lighting is key. And then again, like you said, just being a student learning. It's fun, man. It's fun. Like being able to tomorrow you know something that you didn't know today, you know. And when you learn that stuff, nobody can take that away from you because it's in here. You know what I'm saying? You can keep putting that to use, man. And talked about inspiration and like, because one day, like the reason uh, that you where you at, you might have watched somebody and was like, man, I could do that. You can become that for so many people, even if you just do it for one person, man. I feel like I did my job. You know what I'm saying? If I can inspire one person,
Yeah.
they can watch your video and be like, man, you know what? I watched your video. I went out and did something because I seen your video. It inspired me. That's a good feeling right there.
Yeah. Somebody come back, you didn't even call them up and ask them. They just see you in passing, like, "Oh, that's a good video you did." Actually, I went to the movies one day, and I had actually one subscriber turn around and say, "Hey, bro, ain't you the dude that do the YouTube videos?" Like, yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah, I had
real?
had one of those moments. I was like, "Yo, this is real."
That's
Like,
dope, bro. That's dope.
that's real. So I was like, "Okay." You just take those moments you get, the likes, the comments, people wanna help. You just take that and just move forward. Cause some people just be like, "Oh, that's not enough because I don't got over 1,000 views and this and that." But some people crash and burn moving fast like that.
Yeah.
Some people actually go viral for one video and they don't know what to do. But when you take that time and cultivate what you're doing, you be able to go through all the, "Oh, I went through this, so I know what to do or not to do, or what to say or what not to say." So it's just steady learning, just being that student at all times. And just, if you want that growth, you just have to find out what it takes to get there. And that's what I'm doing as well. Like, I'm even taking my own advice. Like, okay, what do we have to do about the drum board to get better and better every year? We don't want to be the same as last year. You just want to get better.
Yeah. Focusing on getting better 1% at a time, man. 1% at a time. So going over into just talking about like brand building, because essentially that's what we're doing. Like we're putting out content, like we're building. Even if you ain't putting out content, like you are your brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you represent? So with that, like going back to the content side, like what's been your biggest challenge growing your platform?
The biggest challenge of growing my platform is, for one thing, is the consistency. I say one thing. Like, some points I can be, but life be life in. And sometimes that if you don't post enough, the algorithm will pick up that much, or they just ignore you. So now you got to go start that momentum all over again. So versus like you just kind of push that wheel, got to keep it going. So if you slow down, okay, now I got to pick it all the way back up over again. But it's a learning lesson as you just go through it. Now, okay, I also learned too, you can also take one content and double back off the same content. So it don't
Mm,
always have to end with just that one sneaker. I could do an on feet review. I can do something else about this shoe. I can do this about another one early. It's so many ways you could constantly just milk the same content and keep doing it if you don't have that enough. And it's just being creative at one point. So I know I learn them lessons as I go. So I'm like, okay, what can I do different if I don't have another pair right now? Well, you can milk this content right here and see what happens. And sometimes I get in my head like, well, this shoe is kind of old, but some people are there for you and they want to see what you think about it. It's not about they seen a bunch of reviews, and some people get tired of different content creators. They do something wrong or get in some type of controversy and they, okay, I'm done with this person. Let me find somebody else. Here come you, the new face of it. So don't always feel like the YouTube space is always oversaturated. It's always space for somebody new to come in there, because somebody always going through something. And people unsubscribe every day to somebody. Just think about right now, who do you unsubscribe to? You're gonna
yeah.
find somebody else with the same type of space that you want to find somebody new. And you might be the next person. So don't always check yourself out.
Yeah, you definitely could be the next person. And like you said, people might be there for just you. They want a different perspective. They want a different take. They might gravitate towards your personality. You know, a quote I heard from Sean Kennel. He does like he teaches. He like a YouTube guru. Teaches like YouTube 101, how to navigate, get started with YouTube and stuff like that. He mentioned something. He said it stuck with me. He said your vibe will attract your tribe.
Mm.
You know, so just you getting on, being yourself, people going like they gonna resonate with that. You know what I'm saying? Who who's for you is gonna be for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's, you talked about consistency. I think that's more sustainable in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to get on and do something because you think it's the hottest trend, or just being something that you ain't. You know what I'm saying? And trying to keep up with that, it might come across as fugazi, as we like to say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So just being yourself, and who's for you will be for you, and your vibe will attract your tribe. So
Oh yeah, cause attractiveness is key to a lot of stuff, especially in social media. Cause anything you have that you kind of make it so people will stay, that's the main key. What I learned is that it's all about watch time. So if you keep people there enjoying the content, it's going to go back into the algorithm to them, to more people that they share it with, or they just share your content. That's the one that I feel like, if you know you got good content, if they're sharing it, they liking it, they sharing it. Cause we do it all the time. We see something funny, I'm gonna share this to my homie. I'm gonna share this to my
yeah,
homie.
for sure.
And that's what it is. So it's like you gotta find your niche to something that like will keep people there. And I'm learning to kind of write that stuff down because a lot of times we have dope ideas, but we won't write it down and then it will just be gone like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm working on. Like, okay, what can I do to kind of get this other crowd here?
Hold up. That was a bar. Write it down. Write it down. That's key. But
Sir.
if you got ideas, write them down, man. We got so many things that go through our heads, so much stuff we consume. You can have a good idea, and 2 weeks later, and you be like, "Damn, what was I thinking about?" Or you know what I'm saying? The idea that I had, and what's really the killer is if you had like a great idea, and then you seen somebody else act on that.
Yeah, they said Michael Jackson was like that. They said that he would wake up 1 a.m. and if he had an idea, he act on it because he don't want anybody to take it.
Mm,
So
that's
just
powerful, bro.
yeah,
That's
it
powerful.
just you have to act on that stuff, like, cause I mean, like they say, no idea is original. I believe in that. I honestly believe it because I've spent a lot of times like, man, I'm gonna do this, and you sit back, somebody else do it. Because
Yeah.
the idea is just there for you, but it moves forward to somebody else, or you're thinking about, or sometimes we tell people ideas. I'm a gatekeeper at that because I tell somebody the idea and they ran. I had it happen before. I tell one
Yeah.
artist, I'm like, yo, I want to do this visual with you where we just put um the anime right behind you rapping the action scenes. Did we do it? But he did it. He went on and did it. And I
Mm.
was like, see, that's how you kind of hold
No,
ideas
for
and
sure.
you act on it when you're ready. When you're like, okay, this is what I'm about to do. We about to do this song, this rap, and we about to do the visual just like this. Because it's a good idea, but if you don't act on it, somebody would just take it. Hey, you ain't trying to get it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna use that.
and that be like, that's the salty part. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta get better with that. But if again, it be you versus you, because it's a balance. Because like I got things that I'm trying to focus on. I try to narrow those down and try not to focus on too many things, because in the past I try to focus on too many things and I end up like just not making a great deal of progress at any of them. So I told myself this year I was dialing back. I got a few things that I want to work on, and I want to just give it the juice. Those right there. But I guess the ideas, as long as they align with that, I have to get better with when those ideas pop up, acting on them. Because I do got a habit, man. Like I'm telling, like if I get excited about something, And then the idea, when you get in that state where it's just like, man, the idea is coming from nowhere.
Mm.
And I do like I'll start like a notepad, and then I'll just put all the ideas in there because I'm like, I don't want to forget them. Let me at least capture them. And then I don't really act on them right away. So now I got this warehouse of infinite ideas that's just sitting in there. But then in the back of my mind, I'd be like, all right, if I ever need an idea, I can walk through the warehouse and grab one.
Yeah, and you can always piece them together. 'Cause, you always can go through that whole brainstorming, "Okay, here go one idea. Let me put this together and see if it collide and put it together and it come out of something." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's that one thing, Imma nerd y'all out, just like Iron Man 1, he built scraps out of a cave to become Iron Man. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, no.
So, yeah. So, I would just say you have to get to that point where you just put all these pieces together, and me and my boy did that for our, setup for the new season of Boogie's Dojo. That's what we did. Like, first, I was on the couch, and we just had like, I don't like how you posture on the couch. I don't know how, like, people keep saying, you know what I'm saying? They don't like how you look and they just throw people off. Okay. So I said, I'm gonna do a stand up on a table because I seen some people do that. Oh, the camera can't get you like this. Okay, let me go get the gaming chair, put it with the table. So now I'm still sitting down, but I'm sitting down in the chair, the table right there. And we got everything
Mm,
set it up. It was never no pride in the way. You're wrong, I'm right. We just put it all together and we put it together. And that comes with personal development because I was so big on hard taking criticism and getting an attitude about it and just blowing up sometimes. And not just to be mean or despiteful. It was just that sometimes you take things so personal, you get triggered. But then you just realize, like, okay, you know what? Let me fall back and just listen to what this person got to say. Because we're a team at the end of the day. And that's our team over the build. We just take ideas and keep moving forward.
that's dope. That's dope. And let me pause this episode real quick. You know what? I'm gonna keep it going. They just gonna have to wait. My stuff is blowing up because I know my block supposed to been over at 2, but it's all right. We're gonna work through it. We're gonna get through it. Where we circling back to? Let me catch it because they definitely throwing me off. All right, let's get back to it. So we left off with what we say, like one of the biggest challenges for you growing your platform. So with that being said, like leading into like numbers, and there's some things is just a numbers game, in the sort, especially when you move into business or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, like how do you stay consistent when the numbers are low? Like it's been times where I've edited a video and might have edited that thing for 4 or 5 hours. Like the editing is real. I don't think people understand how much work goes into editing. You know what I'm saying? Like as I've been doing it for a little bit now, so I've gotten faster. But there's been times where I'm talking about 6 hours, 7 hour edits to make a 30-second clip because I guess I was trying to be more perfectionist about it then. But then you'd spend all that time editing and then the video, you know what I'm saying? You get 2 views. Like how do you stay motivated or how do you stay consistent and say, you know what? Might have got the 2 views, but still staying positive about it. We're gonna keep it going. How do you stay consistent when the numbers are not
So,
moving?
so what I do is that, so when I post a video on YouTube, it might get those first 2 views. So what I'll do is I'll just start promoting on different platforms. So after that, I said, okay, let me go put the platform on Instagram, put the link, put on Facebook, put the link, put on TikTok, put the link. And I just let it sometimes go a day. And that's okay. I know that YouTube already seen it. Let me go on Facebook, start promoting it. Let the other people, friends and family, anybody else know that what's going on so they get to the link. And then I go on YouTube Shorts. So if the YouTube Short do good, I'll link the video to that one. So it's like a chain. So if they watch that, it'll go give you a link to the long format content that I got. And then me and my boy were talking about the same thing. You just saying, man, look, you gotta promote. You gotta pay for that promotion. Like you're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is.
Mm.
And that's the one thing about any business. You got to put back into your business and invest and put a little bit more into it until we get those more people. And then sometime I realized that just getting out to more people out, touch some grass, like, hey, subscribe to the channel. Cause some people come back. It will kind of build those views of people watching it and stuff like that. So I just look at it as what can I do to be better at some point and try to put some matters in my own hand. And then sometimes learn. Like I go on YouTube and say, how do I get some views? Or what's a good time to post? Or I just go back to class and that's what sometimes you have to do. Like you just have to go be a student back again and like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. I noticed some good content. What can I do to be better? And that's it. And that takes a lot because I know of me not being personal developed, I'll be like, oh, this is some BS. I ain't gonna do this no more. Nobody don't care. But that's not the truth. That's just you telling yourself that nobody cares. People just don't know about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the one thing. Like, and Facebook does all the time. Like we could post something and nobody will see it. But let you post your birthday, the algorithm does, everybody like it, comment, everybody sees it. Unfortunately, someone dies, same thing. Someone like it, comment, everybody see it because the algorithms keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I mean, it's just the way that the algorithm plays on likes and watches and all that stuff. You just have to learn the game how to play it. And that's what I'm realizing. It's all a game at the end of the day. And just learning how to play it. And I think once you get it, you're like, okay, this is light work. I got it. I know when to post. I know what to say. I know what gets the people going or what gets it tuned to a channel. And I'm still learning today. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still learning.
Being a student,
Hmm.
basically being a student, learning, adjusting. If it ain't working, move. No, that's good. That's good advice.
Yeah. Cause I also did too. In the beginning of my videos, I would just have myself in there. And I was like, the shoe was the star of the show. So now when you see the intro, the shoe is there. So now the shoe was there. I brought the shoe out. That hooks people into the video. Cause some people see you. I don't want to see him. Oh, next video. But
Yeah.
when they see that shoe, oh, there it is.
Kind
What he
of
gonna
drives them
say?
in. No, that's
Yeah,
important. You brought up a good point. A hook, even like is exactly what it sounds like. A hook. You pulling people in,
yeah,
or even when you watch like if you look at like the Mr. Beast or like different episodes, they might show you one of the most exciting parts of the videos, right? It'll be like a small clip of it, and then he could be jumping off a bridge, falling into some fire. That might not happen to 3/4 into the video, but he gonna show you a snippet of it at the beginning, and you be like, he got you. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh dang, dang, I wonder what happened. He ain't gonna show you falling all the way in it. Like the fire will be right here. Right before he gets to the fire, it'd be like, shh, clip, hey, welcome to the video, such and such, such. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like the same deal, man. Like however it goes. But to go back to what you said, just being a student and learning that. Because if you don't learn about hooks, then you don't know to do something like that. Like you said, you might come on just showing you. And if you notice that's not working, all right, let me get a hook. And then you start doing that type of stuff like the hooks, and he like, wait, hold on. It's starting to go up a little bit.
yeah,
Let me keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just constantly adjusting what you said, learning the game and how to play it. You know, that's actually a book by Florence Scope. Forget the last name, but that's a great book, by the way. Great read. The Game of Life and How to Play It. That's
mm,
actually a dope book. So talked about how you stay consistent when the numbers not moving. Just learning the game and playing it, not really just going by what you see right there. It's not the end all be all. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Don't take it personal.
Yeah, that
Don't
key right
that
there.
I
That's
would
key.
just say that don't get your Michael Jordan on. Don't take it personal. All right. Only take it personal is when you, like I said, you can do better, but don't take it personal to the point of like, oh, it's everybody. You start playing the blame game. It's everybody else, or it's the algorithm's fault. It's like you just have to learn how these things go because at the same time, you're just beginning. So once you learn, I mean, it's plenty of channels out there, plenty of books. So and then sometimes self experience is the most way to learn too.
Yes.
It's getting your hands dirty. So once you do that, you'll come back and learn it, and you will notice all the little tricks everybody else do. Watch your favorite content creators, and you see what they do. Okay, this person gets this because of comedy, or this person get this because their hook, or the lighting, or what gets you intrigued to watch the video. And that's what you got to realize what pulls people in. For me, I learned that the more information, the more value you have, people stay in tune of what you're talking about and how you explain, the more knowledgeable about, your product that you have. Because people bought the shoe or they're thinking about buying the shoe, they take it, they okay, what you got to think about? What you think about it? Because I'm thinking about buying this shoe, or I
Yeah.
got this shoe. I'm trying to figure out before it comes in the mail, is it a good buy?
You might be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I might be the end of be all like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
this is,
They might be on edge and be like, man,
I ain't getting that.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You come through, get your perspective on it, and you know what? I am going because and I think that is that's where the passion comes into play. Cause you ain't just throwing a shoe up there and be like, hey, look. Cause if you getting on there, you breaking down the shoe, telling the story, some of the ones that got the stories, it might convince somebody to go ahead and get that shoe. That sales low key. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I've been there a couple times. I watched my review like I'm on the fence about this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like what he said right there. And I'll see the details. Oh, that's really dope. I didn't notice
I didn't
that.
pay attention, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. So it's plenty of times we definitely help out with advertisement with the market. And shout out to Jordan Brand because they actually show love to some of the content creators this past year with the 85 bread band Jordan ones. Um Gave them special access, picked them up in the Rolls Royce,
Oh, that's
picked
dope.
them up, got the shoe, actually laced them up for them, and gave them like VIP service. And usually as content creator, we don't get that much love like that. So I was like, that's what's up.
No,
So
that's fire. That's
mhm.
fire. So it pays, man. You sometimes it might feel like, man, what I'm doing this for, and it be the little things like, well, that ain't little, that's big. And then some stuff like that'll happen, and you be like, dang, you
Yeah,
appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
it's just motivation because I was like, man, how come I didn't get picked? Because I think Shop 218 they had theirs. And shout out to Clue. He actually got invited to Shop 20 to get him a pair. And I was
Shout out
like,
my guy
yeah, shout
Clue,
out to Clue.
another
Shout out to Clue.
heavy hitter
Shout out to Clue.
in the sneaker community. So Clue 313.
Yeah.
If y'all ain't following him, y'all go ahead and check him out too. But no, seriously, shout out to him.
Yeah. So he got invited to go, but that man works hard. And that just shows everyone that works hard in the city, they got an opportunity. And I know that that's not the last opportunity. So I like be ready, get your views up so people know next time, okay, he has to come through. We got to get him there. So it's just motivation. Cause I look the same way Jordan played. The Pistons beat him down. Came back 10 times stronger. You ain't always gonna win every single game or a championship, but you got an opportunity to come back stronger. And that's my whole motivation with that. Like we get a little bit down, like, oh, I didn't get picked. But you can't be salty all the time. You gotta take its motivation. Like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna come back and win next time.
Doing here, put some stuff upside down. All right, getting a little parched here.
They're like them battle rappers. Get that water bottle and start spitting them bars.
Man, what? A lot of talking, man. Plus, since we just did a 2-hour episode,
Yeah.
it's all right though. We gonna make the most of it. Make the most of it. So we're gonna dive into a little bit of the personal side a little bit, and
Okay.
so I want to know, like, this journey that you on, like, how has it changed you personally? Not just as a creator, but as a man. How's it changed you?
It definitely changed me when it comes to accountability. Because this is my own. It's not
Mm.
working for another company. It's something that I came up with, my vision, something I want to do, and just a love I always had when I was a kid. It started off as a kid, and it's funny that you couldn't get the shoes when you were a child, but now you can get them now, but now you're sharing it. And I was watching another content creator, Flight Academy Kicks. He was saying that he started off as a collector, but now he's a reseller with 2 stores. Like it doesn't just stop at that one journey. It can go
Mm.
to something else. And that's what I feel like where it's going. So I know it's changing me to become good at public speaking. I know that's one thing. I was always kind of not always good at it, but I know I had like a idea for it. Cause when I do Herbalife, we had our video calls at it's called at SES where we bring people in and welcome people to the products, introduce them to them. I will go up and talk. So that was a practice background with that. So now bringing that to the channel was just, skill, you know what I'm saying, brings another skill. And I was like, okay, with this, I just feel like it's maturing me to become more of a public figure to things I always wanted to be. Always been like a rapper before, producer, artist. Always loved the entertainment. So I know with this is something of my own. I know it's gonna get bigger and bigger as I continue to become a student, learn and develop. And as I grow my platform, I know that it's going to open up more doors I want to get into and just explore more of my talent.
So kind of like a tree with branches,
Yeah.
and then you can like just different avenues that you can go through. Now that's dope. That's dope. And like you said, when you starting off with something, like you don't know what it can turn into. Like you might be this right now, but I'm a firm believer. Just circling back, well, backpedaling. Like everything kind of happens for a reason. So the stuff that you're doing now is preparing you for like your next chapter. You talked about Herbalife, how you had to get on the calls, and at that time, like I'm sure you had visions, but like you were developing something that you're now using. You know what I'm saying? So that's deep. It's like trusting in your process. Like the thing, even now, the things that you're doing, like you're recording, you're doing the sneaker reviews, you're doing like you got your hands in so many things that you're doing that you creating. By the way, now when the next chapter come, those skills that you develop doing this, you're gonna need them for that. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's huge. So it's more than just content creation.
Yeah, it's more than that. I just feel like when I wanted to start, like I saw other content creators like Roscoe Chicken and W. So he doing like a live stream. And once I saw him start doing that and did the reviews, I'm like, yo, that's dope. I like that. And then once I got the confirmation from going inside the sneaker lines and talking to people, I'm like, you could be on the same platform and you don't either have to punch a clock again or you have something on your own
Mm.
or you just something you enjoy doing it. And once I did the first shot in the car, I enjoyed doing it. It's almost like, oh man, you're a content creator now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This is dope. And like I said, the origin story is almost like when Spider-Man get bit by the spider. Oh, you a hero now. You went from this nerd to like,
yeah.
okay, now you got these powers. Now you get to help people out and do stuff and because you're two different people. I know a lot of people say, you don't seem like that person. I know you was like that, especially at work. Oh, I know you was like that outside of here like that. Well, at work, I only could be a certain way. So I guess it's the superhero effect. You be Clark Kent at
No,
work
for
and stuff
real.
like that. And then
Yeah.
when you on this microphone or performing, you become Superman or something like that. So it's just two separate people. But I feel like it's just something that I enjoy, always love doing it. I've always been like a fan of that. Because I feel like that's all our gifts. That's our power. You know what I'm saying? The gifts that we share with so many people, our talents.
So if you can, like, you talk about the origin story. Now, this is part of your origin story. Like, as you say, when Spider Man got bit as from the spider, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're Spider Man. Because I know the first time where I like labeled myself as a content creator, it felt good. It was kind of like, ain't nobody around. I'm probably smiling. People looking at me, probably thinking this guy's weird. Like, like you know what? I'm a content creator. That. Do you remember the point at which you like deemed yourself like I'm a content creator,
I,
or a time frame, or if you could remember something?
I wanna say that first video. And then I had one subscriber that always came in and showed love 100% all the time. No matter what, especially when I first started. and they always looking forward to the videos, always commented. We had conversations back and forth, and like, you're a content creator. Or
Mm.
I had somebody in the chat to try to like correct me, and people in the chat was like, "No, this is what he said." I'm like, "Oh, my people actually fight for me. I had to actually defend myself." So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. And then I had a troll before, so somebody came and tried to troll me, and I had to like talk to him real nice about it. And it's stuff like that. Like I just take the good and the bad because all that stuff adds up.
Yeah, it
Like you
definitely
don't
has up.
always have to go to war with people, and just
For your own peace, like,
yeah.
most importantly.
Protect your brand at all times because people, you don't know who you talking to. They might have a big
Man,
platform
listen.
and they put you on the screen and say, "Oh, this person is out of line or they doing too much and so don't go follow him," and all that stuff. So I just kind of like, okay, let me not go back and forth. I mean, the words of Jay-Z, a wise man say he don't argue with fools because the outside can't tell who was who. So
Hold on
I
now,
always
hold on.
love that bar, man. I always love it.
Run that back.
He said, "A wise man don't argue with fools because the outside can't tell who is who."
Don't let that go over y'all head.
Yeah, man.
Like, let
That's from the takeover of Jay Z when he said that, man. Like Jay Z be spit some stuff, man. That's one of my favorite artists. But yeah, like it's just stuff like that that's always stick with you, like different, what I'm saying, parables. Like, okay, you know what? I know not to go back and forth because there's been plenty of times I get out of character and then I'm the crazy one.
yeah.
So I just decide, like, okay, I'm gonna let you
And
talk, do
that's
what you gotta
tough,
do.
bro. And that's tough. And that type of stuff don't just happen. Like, you have to practice that. Like, intentionally practice that. You got to practice that. And it's it's easy to just go hawk mode and just, you know what I'm saying? But when you got to hold that in and it's like you boiling, let me keep my mouth closed. But the good thing is, the more you do it, it does become easier.
Yeah.
It becomes easier because it's like a habit, like anything else. But like you said, it. I feel like it saves face because now you able to like stay in character. Because it been time, man. I'm telling you, like I meditate. It's one of my favorite things to do. That's how I stay sane. But I'm still human, and I had those moments, and then like something will happen, and then I'll marinate on it. I'll be like, dang, man, I don't let this person get me out of character, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be a learning moment, you know what I'm saying? I have to process, readjust, and then rather than say, rather than like put too much focus on the fact that they let me get out of character, I start to shift it and be like, all right, what can I do next time? I noticed when this happened, I got triggered. So remember in those situations too, because that's where you get most of your wisdom from. The situation when it don't go your way or when something didn't go according to plan. Like if somebody came up and got you out your character, learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Versus just saying, man, they done pissed me off. They done did this. Because now you focusing on the fact that you just got out of character. But when you can dial back and be like, man, why did I get triggered? First
Yeah.
off,
Cause sometimes they say your best defense, your best offense. And my boy, he took Shotokan karate. He was telling me, like, man, it's moves that they got where you defending yourself, you could break somebody's bone or break somebody's arm.
just off
Not
defending yourself.
just by defending yourself.
Hmm.
So sometimes, like I learned through people, and I study a little bit of dark psychology. Like some people just actually just have those traits of saying things to try to get you triggered or say certain things. And you can always combat that stuff to kind of put them, like reverse it back to them. And that way it kind of falls off or it kind of throws them off. But some
Hmm.
people just want to get a rise out of you. Like, let me see what
Yeah.
this person can do.
Yeah. If
Let
you
me, yeah. So
if you notice, like, and this is something that I notice a lot of times, won't happen every time, but if you respond calm, it'll kind of disarm them a little bit.
yeah. Because think about it, like hurricanes. What's the scariest part of a hurricane? Quiet storm. It's
Mm.
always the calm that's scariest. It's not the big hurricane storm. It's always the quiet part you need to be scared about. Like somebody can talk in a quiet tone or a very like stern tone, quiet, you be scared. You be like,
Man, like, hold
I ain't
on.
gonna mess with them. But somebody,
Yeah.
oh, they rah, and it's like,
They
oh,
just
they feel
talking.
they just
Yeah.
talking.
No,
So
facts.
sometimes you could just say stuff, or it's just like, okay, all right. They like, why he acting like that? It's an art of surprise. Why he not going crazy like that? And I did all of this and all of what he got up his sleeve, and
Yeah,
that's it.
why he ain't turning up, trying to
Yeah.
figure out. All right. So the next one we gonna go into what's what's one of the moments where it's when we starting something new, or if we going after goals, dreams, or whatever it is we want to call it, we always get excited in the beginning. We got the vision of what it looks like, and that kind of starts the motivation. One quote that I heard though was motivation gets you started. What was it? Habits or discipline keeps you going, or something like that. But I say that to say, all right, so once all the excitement fizzles down and you got to actually do the work, you know what I'm saying? Because the visions and stuff, that does get us excited. But it do come a time where you're going to hit those rough patches. Like when you hit those rough patches, like, can you remember a time where you just felt like quitting, and what did you do to keep going?
Sometimes what I do is I'll take a little mental break. So if I do feel like that, sometimes I get inspired to do little stuff, man. Like sit back, watch your favorite movie, play your favorite game, go out to some grass, get some fresh air, and kind of like get back to it. And sometimes people just remind you. I haven't posted a video in a minute because I had early shoe reviews. So by the time the shoes are coming out this month, I had nothing to shoot. So I've been out of the loop for a little bit. But I still had that mode. Oh, I'm like posting right now. But then people say, "Yo, where you been at?" I got to get back out there and get back on it again and just get myself back motivated. And sometimes getting to that room of where you want to be at. Like I just went to a concert, the BoogieGainz concert, and just being in that room full of hip hop, it got me inspired to do some more music. So I feel like sometimes just getting those rooms or getting to that area to where if it's doing video creation, getting to where maybe it's a seminar or you want somebody else's set that somebody did the same exact thing and take that inspiration and say, I'm gonna do something else too. I'm actually gonna get inspired. I'm getting inspired right now, sitting in the podcast right now. I'm like, okay, so when I get done with this, I'm working 10 times harder on my channel because I want to get back into it. Because it just everybody have a little funk somehow, but don't stay there. Don't dwell in it too long. I always tell people that everybody go through something, but just don't stay in that funk for too long. You're human. You're okay to be there, but just get back up. Cause once you do that, everything gonna pass you by. People tend to forget. I was telling my boy that I'm like, people tend to forget certain things. They'll be like, "Oh, you ain't doing this no more." So I guess I forgot you stopped doing it. But once you're doing it, it's always, what I'm saying, like they always say, out of sight, out of mind type of situation. So you got to remind people every day that you do what you do.
That's important. And one thing that you said that stood out was surrounding yourself with uh, being intentional who you surround yourself with.
Hmm.
I think that's important, especially in those tough times. Especially in those tough times. Um, it's been times where, like, Jalen. Shout out Jalen,
Yeah.
Mr. Moss Man.
The Moss Man. Good see Moss too. The elderberry. Yes, sir.
Good Moss. Good Moss. But it's been times where, like, we used to hit the 5 a.m. gym sessions, and there was times where I just didn't feel like going. And like we would get there, and I would kind of feed off his energy. He might have been vibrating high that day, and it caused me to pick up. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm getting energy from his energy, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So, or even just going into the gym. Like you walk in and it's like, all right, finally made it in here. You see everybody else in there working out, hitting the weights. Boom, they getting it in. And that can inspire you to and that can inspire you to want to get to it in a sort of sense. So just it's important to just surround yourself with people who doing positive things, or even just the environment you want to be in. Because when you put yourself in those environments, then you are able to, get a little inspiration. Because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that. I know it's tough. That man, listen, this personal development journey, it can be a lonely road. You know what I'm saying? It could be sleepless nights. There could be nights where you up working by yourself. Nobody know what the heck going on you, but you still grinding through, still grinding through. So through and through with that being said, some days you might need that little extra pick me up. Like you said, you went to the concert and you like, dang, this gave me some motivation. Let me get to it. So I think that's an important thing, man. Just being intentional, the environments you put yourself in, because in those hard times, that can help a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So no, that's great advice, bro. Great advice. And so one thing I noticed about you, man, is you have this like a super positive aura. I'm gonna call it an aura because that's the energy. That's the energy that you give off. You know what I'm saying? It's always good vibes when I see you, man. You give off this positive aura, this positive energy, sort of say. And how do you? Because a lot of people, they kind of, from my experience, people be frowning upon that, man. It's like they don't like to see people too positive. They like, man, always in a good mood. He can't be that happy. He can't be. But truth is, some people are, man. They have techniques or different things that they do in order to keep themselves in a positive. Make sure this glare is crazy. So they try to make sure they keep themselves in a positive light. So what type of things do you do to stay positive?
One thing I do is music is very therapeutic for me. Sometimes I choose playlists over people. Um
Hold on. He said,
eh,
"I choose
I
playlists
choose a playlist
over
over people any
people."
day sometime, man.
That's a bar. Go
And
ahead.
that just keeps me like, sane sometime, man. And really just it's not that bad, man. Like, um, think of people in third world countries, man. Like some people live in huts, right? And they might family member get taken by an animal, a tiger, or bit by a cobra or something like that. You chilling, you good in your house, or you straight. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's like we always get an opportunity just to live and do what you need to do. And we gotta go to work 9 to 5. It pays the bills, but that's what it's just supposed to do. But you have that time you have instead of be on your phone scrolling.
Mhm.
Do what you need to do to enjoy your life. I don't care if you say, you know what, I play my games, or I'm about to go for a walk, or go to the gym, read a book. Do something that you can make a memory. I went 1 year without doing nothing, just go to work. And then you realize once you go on social media at the end of the year, everybody posts everything they did at the end of the year. Where's your
Mhm.
story at?
Right.
Like, did you go on any trips? Did you do something that's exciting? Can you remember last year? Can you give me one main event of last year, what you did? If you can't, that means you have to start doing something. And that's what to look forward to. And sometimes people just be going through a lot of stuff, man. I tell a lot of people that we have past traumas. And sometimes I tell a lot of people, if you haven't conquered that demon before, it's gonna like get into the funk of everything you do out your daily life. It's gonna bleed into everything you're trying to do. So if you don't conquer that, you will never find out true happiness. Cause it's always gonna be that thing to show that stop you from doing something, keep you happy. And I think for me, I always say I have my demons too, but I try to battle the things so I can move forward to the next
Yeah.
level. So, I'm not perfect. I mean, I do have a optimistic attitude. My mom, rest in peace, she had one. She was super optimistic about a lot of stuff and very happy go lucky, what I'm saying, stuff like that. Always smiling. Even through her end of the day, she always smiled and laugh. Um, so I look at that like you just have to keep smiling, keep doing what you have to do. And just stay positive, man. I mean, it's not that bad. And if you have a bad day or do something that you love that keeps you happy and do that and just protect it. That's it.
Well, first off, uh, Rest in peace, Mom Dukes.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mom Dukes. And so what I'm getting out of that is the main thing: do something to make you happy. A lot of times, especially like growing into adulthood, I think a lot of people, a lot of us, we get away from that. We get caught up in busy work, man, trying to pay the bills, trying to do this. Some of us got kids. We take care of the kids, going to work and dealing with people at work, dealing with things at work. And through all of that, you get exhausted. And then it's like, man,
Yeah, I mean, I had that one point. I used to work at Taco Bell, and the same people come at the same time, almost like the Truman Show. I would notice every time they would come in.
great movie, by
Okay,
the way.
yes. So they come in. Okay, here they about to come. If I order the same menu, I know what the same price gonna ring up. It would drive you nuts. I can see that can drive you nuts. You have to just change the timeline, change it. Okay, let me do this different to see what happens to different outcome. Because you do the same thing every single day. That matrix gonna be the same. So, like I said, I know sometimes it takes a lot. Personal development is not the most easiest. And I know for some people, it takes a minute for it to really kick in or to actually get to the train a little later on. But it's okay being a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer. I wish we had the same technology when I came out of high school. Man, I'd be 10 steps like further ahead if I had that.
And the thing is, though, like I read in it's a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. Another, it's a great book, great read. And they talked about like men, well, in the book they refer to it, men, we don't reach our intellectual peak until 36. So a lot of times, even our 20s and stuff like that, we haven't fully developed mentally. You know what I'm saying? So by the time, like, how old are you?
I am 39.
39. So
Mhm.
we around the same age. So it shows like just where your mindset is at right now. I'm 37. We basically we close, very close in age. And like right now we at our mental, like our mental peaks as far as like what we learn and how we analyze and stuff. And it was the fun fact was that you keep that peak well over into your 70s. Listen, we just getting started.
I know. I can see that. And I tell a lot of cats that's younger than me in their 20s, they be so afraid to get to 30. And I was saying what it was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to 30. But I tell them, I say, all it is, you're just taking a red pill to life. That's it. You're
Yes.
gonna finally awaken at age 30, and you're gonna realize a lot of stuff that was BS in the past. Why did I do that? Or start questioning parents. Why did my parents do this? Why did they raise me like this? Or they wasn't right. You just start questioning everything. But that's just an awakening of you went through all your past experiences in adulthood. Now you're going to, okay, I found my purpose. This is where I want to be. I know that doing this nine to five not right. Or I went to school for the wrong thing. I want to do this. So now you're about to start tapping into different things you really want to do. It's like you finding your identity. Some people walk around and don't have no identity.
Hmm.
And that's why identity crisis because they might live behind somebody, and they be like, okay, I don't know who I am. And that can go further into your 50s or 60s and still don't know who you are.
That's deep though, bro. That's deep. And like the identity crisis thing is for real. Like I said, a lot of people walk around like on autopilot, man. Like the things that you can have whatever you want out of life, man. You just gotta be intentional about it. And it takes time. And like we cannot get caught up on the fact that like I'm too old. Cause it's like we always got like an excuse, right? I'm too old. I'm too young. I grew up without a dad. I grew up without this. Oh, you had a silver spoon. Like we call it what we call it, the blame game.
Yeah.
When you start blaming like everybody else for your circumstance, you take your power away. It's essentially like you telling yourself, ain't nothing I can do about it. Listen, I grew up on the east side of Detroit, bro. Born and raised, 7 and Gratiot.
Hey,
7 and Gratiot, you know what I'm saying?
red zone.
Red zone for sure. Now some of my closest homies was uh from the like part of the 7 Mile Bloods and stuff. Like I seen a lot of stuff coming up, gotten to a lot of stuff. Like again, I never met my pops, bro. And I could have went the route and say, you know what? I ain't grew up without a dad. Nobody didn't show me, like I didn't have a role model to say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do here. This is what you're supposed to do here. Like I don't even think I had a like I came out, I think I was one of the first, am the first person from like my generation of my people like to get married. I didn't have no figure to show me what to do. Like I figured it out. I could have easily was like, oh, I ain't get married because I ain't never seen that coming up. You get what I'm saying? Like when you say those things, like you put them limitations on yourself. Oh, I'm a terrible dad because I ain't have a dad. You figure it out. You figure it out. If I was to blame, like if I start playing the blame game, I'm accepting what happened to me. And like you can switch that, bro. Because guess what? I talk about adversity all the time, man. Like adversity is gold once you learn how to harness it. You know what I'm saying? It's something magical about knowing what it's like to not have something. Just think about, let's say, rich kids, right? Normally, the dad got it out the mud, grind. It might took him 50, 60 years, built his wealth up, and then he had kids. Everything was handed to him. Now they, you know what I'm saying, buttholes, like they don't know how to like, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the same grit because they had everything handed to them. So don't get it misconstrued. Like just because you pointing out something from somebody else to be like, oh, you had this, you had this, you had this. Like you have the power. Harness what you got. Yeah, you grew up and you came from the mud. It's a lot of that right there is gold. That's what's gonna activate the man. Listen, bro. That's what activate that dog in you. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
mean, it comes to a point to like where you living right now, your zip code is somebody going in the hood right now.
Facts.
And, I came from Coney Gardens area. I grew up in that area, 7 Mile and Ryan area. But then I was younger, we was on the west side, Tyreman and Mansfield area. So we seen a lot of that stuff. And we didn't have, I had both parent home, we didn't have everything. But, we just had just to get by. It was almost like a black sitcom almost. We would, say mother and a father. My dad worked at Ford. My mom was a custodian, worked different jobs, made things happen. Sometimes we didn't get everything. Sometimes my mom always told me no a lot of stuff. She's like, no, we can't have this. No, uh, we don't got the money right now or something like that. We just happy just to have food on the table and just be cool with each other. And that was it. Me and my sister share rooms. I mean, it's just those humble beginnings, but then as we get older and things get better, you like, okay, I see things start to get a little bit stronger. Than they was married over 40 something years. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To my mom's passing. But it's just that like I look at their marriage of like what people look for now in a marriage and what they think it is. I'm not married, but I see people like, oh, you supposed to have this and you supposed to do this and do all that. And it's like sometimes it's just working what you have and just moving forward. And that's what keep the love strong so
Yeah.
long. And people don't get that. I mean, like you said, you came from, without your pops, but that was an excuse for you not to move forward or become better for your kids or you become the better husband you're supposed to be or father figure. I mean, I had my dad in my life, but I also had my OGs. Like I had my cousin, I had people I work with OGs be in your ear. And one time my cousin was like, I could tell somebody in your ear talking to you. So he like, yeah, you
Mhm.
wising up. And sometimes we gotta be in somebody's ear. I think a
Got
lot
to,
of these
yeah, for sure.
a lot of these young cats is missing like somebody, hey man,
Role models, bro.
yeah,
Positive role models. I say it all the time, man. Again, I'm just gonna keep it funky, bro. Like they following the wrong things. It's like a facade. Even in the rap game, bro. Like you got your good artists that promoting something, worth like outside of a beat and how it sound good, like the message, because the message for sure we don't put a lot of. As I'm getting older, I understand that the message is important because as you listening to that over and over, you programming yourself.
yeah,
So it might sound good, might sound crazy. Listen, bro, I'm telling you, like I had to give Like I love my Detroit artists, bro. I love my Detroit artists, but I had to cut back on listening to that, bro. I'm around here ready to crash out. Like you know what I'm saying? If you listening to it 24/7, you start to pick up stuff from it. You know what I'm saying? I might start talking crazy, like not purposely, but just like habitually, like off of GP. You know what I'm saying? Have to
Yeah,
catch yourself
a
on
lot of
something
stuff
like
is
that.
subliminal. I mean, a lot of rappers speaking subliminal. So a lot of stuff will get into your subconscious mind speaking subliminal messages. So when you take that, or sometimes the frequency of the beat will have you hyped up, so ready to do
Get
something.
and guess what? When
Yeah,
you get hyped, you receive that message and not even notice. My man, I seen the interview. Dude was talking about. I don't even know who it was. He said, "Man, he said the same thing. He was like, man, I had to stop listening to the Detroit artists. He said, man, they had you thinking like if you ain't 20, 21 with a Rolex with $500,000 and this, then you broke. And like, you know what I'm saying? You hear this in the songs though, like they just talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And then it's like, he's like, man, I had to stop listening to that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think like I do think it's a balance. I use it for its purpose. Like if I want to get turned up, like even with like I'll listen to it in the gym because it do get you on a different like it turn you to a different dog. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go in there and I'm listening to some Sada, it just make you like you notice like your facial expressions change. Like you really be in there like
yeah,
embodying what's going on. Like I lap them up and I. But if I'm doing that, I might be able to hit an extra 3 reps. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm turned. You know what I'm saying? But I- you gotta like intentionally know when to turn that off.
yeah. It's all about like you said, balance. And and back in the day, I tell a lot of people like the radio wasn't even like that. I remember back in the '90s, you had hardcore hip hop, but you also had R&B that was smooth,
Yeah.
and it was a balance. So nowadays, you don't really have that no more. You got some, but they don't play it like that. So if you listening to something that's super aggressive all the time, 9 times out of 10, you will probably become an aggressive person, not
Nah, facts.
by fault. It's just in your subconscious mind to do
Mhm.
that because you're hearing it
Constantly.
all the
Con
time. Replay, 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 replay. And it builds up in you. Like I can remember lyrics because I always played that song so many times.
Mhm.
So now it's in my subconscious mind to remember that at a certain thing. Like, oh, okay, that quote, I got that. Yep. All right. I'm gonna do it like this person. They said this how to do it. But that's the same thing how some people retaliate. So and so said spin the block because of the
You know
situation.
what I'm
I'm
saying?
about to go spin the block. But
And then something happened, right? Like, bro, they ain't even you. What'd you say? Somebody in your ear, like that music in your ear,
yeah,
like it'll turn you into somebody that you ain't. I remember we used to have house parties, bro, and I kid you not, every time they would play Knuck If You Buck, a fight broke out. Every
yeah,
time. Cause everybody in there like turned up, Knuck If You Buck, like bumping people and like, man, people around there punching their fists at people. Like when I say it was crazy, bro, like I cannot remember a party, a house party that I went to where a fight didn't break up off that song. Like we could be good the whole night. Just Knuck If You Buck, come on. You better get ready or get out the way.
yeah. And I mean same thing in certain heavy metal.
Yeah,
Like the
same thing here.
when they do the little fight, I forgot what it's
Mosh pit.
the
Mosh
mosh
pit.
pit.
That's
It's
crazy
called
to me.
something else too. When they go and they just start swinging and
You tell me when they
fighting.
make them big circles?
Yeah, and they started to fight. You better get out the way because
Man.
my boy DJ at the Hayloft and with that Pontiac, and they had like a little heavy metal situation. I love music. I'm listening to it, and they started to do that. I was like, get out the way.
Man.
Go
Man, it's over.
if you don't want to
Over
get hit
with.
in your mouth or a fight, and that's just how they do it. It's just the culture of their music. That's how they get down. So I mean, I just listen to the frequencies of certain things of the beat or certain the frequencies and it's the hertz. Everything is set up how like it can make you do certain things.
Mhm.
Like in church when they start, it make you wanna jump up and
Yeah.
down or move around when the drummer start to drum like that. So it's just certain things of the frequencies of music can vibe with you. That's why they say vibrations are so important, like, and that's why I listen to binaural beats a lot, like to sleep,
Man, listen,
study,
what?
a lot of
Oh,
that
you
stuff,
come on
and
now.
I truly
Come
believe in
on.
that.
Binaural beats.
Man,
Come
I
on now.
truly believe in that,
You
man.
tapped
That
in,
yeah,
bro. You
yeah,
tapped in for
yeah, yeah. I'm
show
I'm
that.
I'm big on that. So
That junk increases focus. And just speaking on frequency real quick, I'm gonna go off subject, but on subject, like when it comes to like everything is on a frequency, right? That's why I say you can be whatever you want to be. And the thing is, like, it's about like manifestation. I just bought a new book on manifestation too. I ain't dived into it yet. But basically, whatever you want to be is on a frequency, right? You have to align yourself with that frequency, and it's that simple, and then you'll have it. Not saying that it's gonna come overnight, but let's say like you have to live as if you've already got it. Like right now, I'm gonna say you're a content creator, right?
mhm.
You didn't say, you know what? I'm gonna wait until I get a plaque to become a content creator. Because then guess what? You'll never become a content creator. But if you are, I'm already a content creator. What I want is already done. I'm just running the play. I'm aligning myself on that frequency. I'm learning about this. I'm learning about the lighting. I'm learning about the setup. I'm learning about the camera. I'm feedback, IQ clips, this. You're aligning yourself on a frequency. And once you get perfectly aligned, whatever it is you want, you're gonna have it. It's real talk, man. Might be sound a little woo-woo, but those frequencies are real. I'm not
Yeah,
kidding, bro.
yeah, you have to be on that frequency. Like they say, be on the same wave. You got to be on that frequency because if you want to become, you got to become that person you want to be. So whatever you want to be, I don't care. If you say, okay, I want to be an artist. You have to tap into what the artist does. You got to be in that
Yes.
same room, be in that same environment. You have to breathe and live. I tell my boy all the time, I was like, bro, you want to come be a rapper, bro. You have to breathe and live and eat this stuff
Embody it.
all the
Yes.
time. Cause I mean, I have a lot of rap friends and that's all they do. They don't punch clocks. They actually rap and they sell their music or they tour. This is what they do all the time. It's not no part-time type of thing.
And it's habitual. And one thing that I noticed, bro, we tend to like put other people on higher pedestals than ourselves. Cause we'd be
Mhm.
like, man, they so great at this, man. Why can't I do that? But the truth is you can do that. You just have to put in enough work. Quick story about Picasso, right? And Picasso was sitting at a table and this lady noticed him. Hey, you Picasso. I'm just giving the modern version. I don't know the word and whatever. Hey, you Picasso, make me a drawing. All right, cool. He grabbed the napkin. 30 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Forget the price. Here, 50 G's. 50 G's for a napkin? It only took you 30 seconds to draw it. Or it only took you 30 seconds to make this. He said, no. Nah, it took me 60 years to make this.
Mm.
You feel me? So I don't care what you do. You do something for 60 years, you're going to be all right at it. You know what I'm saying? But people look at that and say, 60 years is too long. Time is passing you by anyway. E.T., public speaker, get 100 G's a show. Took him 20 years of practicing that. What do you have to lose? You can either practice that for 20 years or 20. It's passing you by anyway. It's passing you by anyway. Might as well make something of it. You know what I'm saying? So it I don't even know the point that I was trying to make, but I
Yeah.
kind of got lost in that real
Oh, it's all
quick.
good. I follow what you're saying. I definitely get it because you have to be in that moment, and you have. And some people just feel like, oh, they put so much a time stamp on it. Like it will take you 3 years. It will take you 5 years. It might.
Who
Yeah, who
cares?
cares? It might take you. It might take you less. It might take you more. But the end game of it is is worth it.
It's
I
worth it.
promise you it's worth it. I'm not even there, but I know that once I get there, like, man, I remember I was struggling, I was learning, and now it's just it's like I know it's like the back of my hand. I got this. What I'm supposed to
You're
do,
doing it
how we're
second
doing.
nature. It's
Yeah,
habits. Anything you can. Oh, that's what I was getting at. Anything you can do if you're doing it habitual. Think about walking, bro. You didn't know how to walk at first. You
s-
kept trying it till you figured it out. Everybody, majority of everybody, learned to walk. Repetition. This is a repetition game, bro. Anything that you're doing.
yep. And it's the same matrix. I don't care if people are like, "Oh, I'm not doing that. Anything you want to do. If you want to pick up a cooking book, if you want to, anything that you want to do out of life, you have to learn. It's always a day one.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you have to learn that. Okay, I'm gonna get there, but I know this is my day one. I'm gonna start, and it's okay. As long as you start, just constantly work on trying to finish. And it's okay. You're gonna get some bumps in the road. It's gonna be some
Part of the
stuff
process.
like that. And you might have some detours and go another way and come right back. But yeah. But just enjoy I would say just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey of it. But
And
all
I've heard multiple people that's like been working on their craft for years and years. They saying like they all talk about, not they all, but there's a nice amount that talk about those days where they didn't have it figured out, missing those days. You know what I'm saying? Like saying, man, that's what was the goal for me, man. Like those nights where I was up trying to figure out why this didn't work. So sometimes you get a little stressed out when you're in a moment and it's like you don't have it figured out yet. But hindsight, you looking back and was like, man, there was the nights where, dang, you know what I'm saying? Where I was really like trying to figure it out. And they appreciated those times. So just appreciate your moment, appreciate the now. Appreciate the now where you at now. Cause one day you're gonna look back on that and be like, man, I missed that. You know what I'm saying? Even now, I can look back where I'm like, man, I remember I didn't have a desk. All I had was one little desk with one monitor in here. None of this existed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But
And it kind of make you smile a little bit. It was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? So
it's all progress, man. We all love it. Even like we go to the gym and work out and you see the results.
yeah,
Oh man, you start flexing
start
and
feeling yourself.
they're
You
like,
know what
oh
I'm
man,
saying?
look at this. I work
Hold on,
hard. I
hold on.
work
Well,
hard
come
for
on now.
this. And don't let you put an outfit on that you work trying to get into.
Oh
Oh
man,
yeah,
it's game over.
it's game over. So I mean, we all have that. Okay, this is where I started, but where I end off at, that's where it matters. Like I know, like I said, I started off with just the phone and in the car. Then it went from that. I was in my room with the desk. Then I had feedback. Tried on the couch. Then we tried another way, and then we worked on different angles. My boy was like, "I'm not sure about these angles." Had somebody in the comments. They was like, "Oh, I love how you doing the angles." I said, "Keep the angles, bro. They love what you're doing. Don't stop that. Keep what you're doing." And that's just all about just taking feedback and just
Yeah,
either it's positive or negative. Take it and just dissect it. But I know for us, criticism could be so hard. We have the pride in it. Don't tell me what to do, or you don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about. I'm the
yeah,
one working here. I This is my stuff. It's like we have all that, but just be open. Just be open sometime and see another person's vision or what they see. At the same time, if it's somebody a watcher or viewer, they're the consumer, not you.
hmm
They the ones gonna get you a view. They the ones gonna share. They the ones gonna subscribe. Listen to what they're saying, what they want to see, and just work on that.
and be a student. You mentioned it
Yeah,
bunch of
like
times. Like you're not gonna take because one thing I noticed, everybody got something to say or want to tell you what you can do. So take it with heed, and some stuff you take, some stuff be a student, be a
yeah.
student. You know what I'm saying? Just take stuff a little bit at a time. So I do want to talk about this like future visions. Again, we circling back around to just you being in the sneaker game and as well as being a content creator. Like any trends or anything that you notice in like where do you see content creation surrounded by sneakers? Where do you see it heading? And what type of things are you doing to prepare for what's coming up or what you see for the future sneaker game?
I know. I see that right now. the sneaker game I'm learning, it always take like a circle of life type of turn. Or I feel like it always plays in the hand of people. It plays into the sneakerheads like us, the collectors, consumers. But now it's going back to the playing field of the resellers. When I first started, that's what it was during pandemic. We was buying a lot of shoes, reselling it, and that was the hottest thing. So now it's going back to that. So now I'm like, okay, where do I go into this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, so I can still do the reviews, but trying to get some shoes might be a little bit harder, but different content to think about what attracts more people versus just having a shoe to review. I know podcasts, there's a lot of people out there want to interview. When I do my little pick and bricks with different people on different shops and different people, I like doing stuff like that when I go to sneaker events. And I know people like my energy and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward towards doing some more stuff like that. And just thinking outside the box, because I know that I give more of me. I'm a musician. Definitely love art. I told the movie buff, superhero stuff. It's a lot of stuff I can get into. Even I thought about streaming. That's one thing too. So
Okay.
I know that just put your money up, invest into back into your business, and try things out, see what it works.
Quick,
So,
quick little input. I know my way around the streaming a little bit, so if you ever need a little guidance on that, that's where my whole little setup really
oh
came up.
man,
I started out streaming, man, before I navigated to this. So if you ever want to get into that, I'm a resource for that.
oh, like I said, I'm a student. I would definitely be in touch, bro, and pick your brain on that because that's one of the biggest things I see now that streaming with live cops, stuff like that, that really brings people in. You can really build a community off of that. So I know that's one avenue to kind of reach into the playoff. Okay, you got the content with this. What else they want to vibe with you with? Got a cool personality. Somebody told me that too. I think you'd be good at streaming if you do that.
Yeah,
I mean, if Kyson not out here getting it like that, why can't you out here get
man.
it like
What?
that?
Listen,
You know what I'm saying?
personality is everything, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Personality is everything. You don't even have to have you don't even have to have all. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room, or well, you got a great personality. That don't get you a long way. Keep being you, bro. I'm telling you, it shows. I can always feel the energy when I see you, bro. So you definitely got good vibes. Keep that up. And you mentioned that you like anime.
Yeah.
Favorite anime, favorite character, and why?
Hmm. My favorite character right now, I want to say, is Sanji from One Piece. That's my favorite character.
Sanji. Is
Sanji.
that the cook?
Yep,
Okay,
that's
okay.
the cook.
My
I
little
like
son put
yeah,
me up
that's
on One Piece.
yeah,
All right,
that's
go
that's
ahead.
that's, that's my guy right there, man. I like the fact that, his backstory kind of relative. Like, out of siblings, he was kind of weakest. But just when it comes to cooking and art, he's dope with the cooking. Um Fighting style, how he does it. That's one of my favorite characters. I got a lot of favorite characters. I didn't want to be biased. Like Dragon Ball Z, Goku's my favorite character. Goku is cool. Um, Vegeta's one of my favorites though.
Vegeta. Yeah.
Vegeta's one of my
Vegeta's
favorites.
that guy.
Vegeta's my guy, one of my favorite dudes. And then sometimes I tell a lot of people too. What I like about anime is always side characters that might get taken off, that you fall in love with, that you get mad that they weren't like a main piece of the story, but they get taken away. Like in Hunter x Hunter, like I love Kite. Kite was one of my favorite characters, but he wasn't a main character. But one of my favorite
Mm,
characters. Cool moves, sweet how he look, how he designed everything like that. But I mean, spoiler, he gets taken off the show. I'm like, man, that's not right. But it is what it is. But that's one thing I like about anime is that I like the character development in it.
they have dope storylines, bro, and they
Yeah,
and they they get deep. They get deep with the storyline.
yeah. And it just shows you in life, like we talk about being a skirt, it's character development. We all go through something
Yeah, for sure.
to make us better. We might have to lose something. We might have to go through something to become better. And that's why I feel like it relates so much to it, or some things you kind of get from that. You watch that, and why people like, why y'all always watch anime? It's so many gems drop.
Yeah,
You learn
man.
from it as you
Life
watching it.
lessons be in there,
Yeah.
bro.
Or some
Life
of the
lessons.
quotes, I'll be like, "Whoa, that was deep."
You say bars. They be dropping bars,
Yeah,
man.
like it was one point in One Piece where Luffy had to make a heavy decision, and then Zoro was like, "That's what it takes to be a captain. Always gonna be the easy decision."
Mm.
And it ain't all fun and games like you thought. It's a serious business.
Exactly. This is a serious business.
Yeah.
No, that's hard. That's hard. One of my so of course I love Dragon Ball Z. Um that was I think Dragon Ball Z was where I got introduced to anime coming up. Used to race home from school to watch that, me and my
Yeah.
brothers and my cousins. And there's one thing that I noticed, man, I used to hate, man. It used to be like right when it got good, they'll be like, on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. They always leave with the cliffhanger that goes back to like content. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Even with shows like that, let's say if you ending off an episode or something, like leaving cliffhangers, that could be something that'll get somebody to come back.
Mhm.
Movies and stuff still do that, but moving forward, so my favorite anime is uh The Last Airbender, Avatar.
Mm.
And of course I love Aang. Love Aang. He's just such a humble, innocent spirit, you know. But the person who I feel like is the most misunderstood, but I love his morals is Prince Zuko. And he got banished from his whole clan and was like by his dad because his dad was running things one way, and he basically challenged his dad, and his dad was like, "Fight me," and he was like, long story short, they were it was a crew of members from the clan. They was sending them off basically to die, and Prince Zuko stood up for them. And he was like, all right, well, you take that clan with you. He was the captain of the clan, but they never even knew it, right? And he never told them that. So for one, that moral right there, like he could easily be like, I'm the reason why y'all alive. Like he didn't even share that information with them. So he had members on his ship that was like challenging him at times or different stuff like that. And they didn't even know the half of it. Like, if it wasn't for me, y'all would have been dead. But the fact that he didn't even disclose that info was like, man, that's some deep character right there. You know what I'm saying? You talking crazy to me, and I'm the reason why you're alive, and I don't even need to share that with you. Like the level of that, like that's top tier to me.
Mm.
Because morals mean a lot to me. And it was one episode where one of the shipmates was like, I guess one of the guys was talking behind Zuko's back, right? So the other guy came to tell Zuko, was like, yeah, dude said such and such. And he went off on dude, was like, basically like, don't come telling me what he said. That's a snake move. Even though dude was talking trash behind his back, he didn't respect the fact that he was telling on dude. I was like, man, this dude really got some deep core values. Even though you talking behind my back, I don't respect the fact that this person come telling me what you said. I don't respect you for that. I don't care what he said behind my back. So yeah, that dude right there, man. Yeah, I'm recording. I'm recording. All right, that's a blooper. All right, so yeah, that's dope, man. I think that's cool how you, in a sense, you connect with these characters, and it's huge, man. And that's huge. What you said, just how the character development and stuff like that. So we're gonna get to the end and wrap it up, man. And my phone is going crazy right now.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
so to wrap it up, we're just gonna talk about what's one piece of advice that you would give to somebody that's on a that's either thinking about getting started on a personal development journey, or they could be on a journey right now. Like, what's one piece of advice that you would give somebody?
I would say just start. Definitely don't think about it twice. Just get started. Um, you really need too much equipment. Just your camera, set it on 4K. And just be ready to share with the world as much as you can. And once you do that and you get the feedback, take that feedback and build upon that. And if it's good feedback, act upon that, work on this bad feedback, tweak that, work on it, and just work on being better, especially if something you love to do. And I will also say, man, it's plenty of books out there. I think it's one YouTube book out there. I can't remember the title, but it was on my audiobook. It's definitely, if you got cold feet, it's definitely a good book to read. And I'll just lead up with Jay. He can put that in the description. But yeah, that book is really, really dope. So if you got cold feet thinking about it, I mean, don't wait too late. It's never too late to start, but don't think about it. Just do what you need to do and just keep moving forward.
And there you have it, man. The story, the origin story, the journey of my boy BoogieGainz, and great advice that he just gave. If you're thinking about starting with anything in life, just start messy, figure it out along the way. You don't have to have the perfect setup or perfect anything. You don't. There's never gonna be a right moment. We're always thinking about the right moment to start. That moment will pass you. It won't come. That moment will not come. There's never a perfect moment. So just start messy. Start with what you have. Figure it out along the way. So Boogie, man, thank you so much, man. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Pleasure having you on the show. I thank you. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to come by and not only record 1 2-hour session, we just did another hour and 40. So we just really was going at it for what's that, almost 4 hours, which is insane. But this episode not gonna be that long. I mean, it's still gonna be pretty long. But thank you, man. I know our block ran over again. I just want to say thank you for joining me, coming on the show, giving some great game to the Blueprint crew. And
Sir, thank you. It's an honor.
I'm looking forward to many more, man. This was a vibe. This was a dope vibe. And BoogieGainz, everybody. BoogieGainz.
Thank you. Like I always say, man, peace and sayonara.
Peace and sayonara. And real quick before we go, we'll just give another handle. Boogie, where can they find you at? Hit them with your socials, all of that stuff like that. I will leave the link in the descriptions below. But let them know where they can find you at.
Cool, cool. What up, though? So you can follow me at Instagram, BoogieGainz. Follow me on TikTok, Boogie's Dojo. Follow me on Threads, BoogieGainz. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Boogie's Dojo. We got some new content coming, and it will be dope. Thanks a lot, Jay. Shout out to the Blueprint crew.
No worries, man. And again, thank you again. If y'all out of the loop on sneakers and y'all want to get up to date on the latest gear, the latest sneakers, holla at my man. Check out his content. He's got some really dope content and dropping value, a lot of nuggets that he dropped. Cool stories. He even give you backstories on some of the shoes, stuff that I learned today that I didn't even know about. So go ahead and check that out. Again, all of the links to his socials and everything will be in the description below. It will be in the descriptions below. So be sure to give my man a follow, check him out, and check out his content. And as always, stay focused, keep moving forward, and you'll keep leveling up.
Peace. Yes, sir.
Boogie, we did it, man.
Yeah, man.
Woo! That was a hard lesson learned, but it's okay. Way to stay positive about it.
Yeah. It's not a problem.